Okay, fine. So, hello everyone, good morning and good evening. 1 second, let me increase the sound. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, hello everyone. So, last class we have discussed about the deployment of the second major project, that is the Angular social application. So, we are done with all projects development and we are now discussing some miscellaneous concepts, some extra added concepts, okay, of Angular. Almost we have learned everything about Angular, but some few extra concepts also required to learn. So we're going to discuss those concepts in the coming days, okay, from today. And today we are going to discuss, and one of the very important concept of Angular course is unit testing. Okay, so unit testing is also a responsibility of a developer. So till now we have developed a lot of applications and a lot of components and two different projects also, right? So as a developer, as a developer, to avoid the manual testing or to avoid most of the errors, so it's a developer responsibility to write some unit test cases to test your code, to validate your code, to make to certify the code what you written. Okay, so what exactly mean by the testing? So first let's understand unit testing. Okay, what is this unit and what is this testing? Unit is nothing but something called isolated testing. Isolate means you can test a particular component, okay, or particular functionality, particular function you want to test it. So that's called unit testing, and it's a developer responsibility. So in the current in the application development you must have to do this. Okay, so unit testing, and to do unit testing in Angular application, so Angular already supports the unit testing scenarios, and it also have the automated libraries. I mean, it also have automated scripts involved, so the complete testing configuration is everything is there inside Angular itself. Okay, we have not gone through that, but still complete testing environment and the complete setup for the testing of Angular components, everything is made already in Angular. Okay, so now let's understand how to do the testing in Angular. So you can perform a testing in Angular using two special libraries. One is Jasmine and one is Karma. Okay, so what is Jasmine is, this is the testing library. Okay, so testing library means which contains a specific functions to write some test cases, supported library. Okay, generally testing means what? You, for example, you written a function. Okay, before I talk about Jasmine, yeah, suppose you written a function, uh, a normal function, some greet function, some function, whatever, just function you written. How you test the function? You're passing some parameters, they're doing some logic. So how you test? So you will expect some result, right? Okay, so this so and so input I'm giving to this, and so output is coming. So I'll verify as per the logic what I written in the function, am I getting the expected result or not? That's called testing. Okay, even in the same unit testing concepts also, you're gonna make some environment to do some testing for the existing functions. So where you have to provide a set of parameters and you expect the result, and we are matching the expected result and original result is same or not. If it is same, test case will be successful. Okay, fine. So to do the testing in Angular, we have to use two special library. One is Jasmine. This is the testing library. One more is there, Karma. So Karma is not a testing library. It is the test runner. For example, we have Angular CLI, right? Angular CLI. What is this Angular CLI? So Angular CLI is a command line interface to generate the various Angular components and Angular stuff. Okay. So Karma is also is a kind of supporter for testing environment, specifically for testing environment, and Karma has given by Angular team. Okay, so how to execute the test cases and how to refresh the browser for every time you write a new test case. Okay, so and to generate some test case results, I mean to generate some like test coverage report. So everything can be done using Karma. So Karma has given by the Angular people, and Jasmine given by some third party people. Okay, so if you can see Jasmine website, Jasmine testing. Yeah, this is the jasmine.github.io. This is official website and logo. Behavior driven JavaScript. I talk about what is behavior driven. Yeah, this is the website. You can just go to the docs and all. Okay, and same like this Karma we have. So Karma is a test runner. Yeah, this is karma runner.github.io. Very small package is actually. Yeah, Karma. On AngularJS team, we rely on testing and better tools. Okay, so this is developed by Angular people. Okay, comma. So these two mixing, I mean, by mixing these two, we'll develop the test cases for Angular. So first of all, we'll see the pure Jasmine test cases, and then we'll integrate with Karma. Okay. So first of all, I have taken. Oh, just forget about it. Close all. Yeah. So I have taken a plain Angular application. Okay, just empty Angular application I have created, and also it been configured with Bootstrap. That's it, just plain Angular application configured with Bootstrap setup. It is there. Okay, and no extra component is there in the app, just regular app component modules and all. Okay, so before I proceed, I just want to show you something about Jasmine. See here, Jasmine. So Jasmine is a open source testing framework for JavaScript. So for normal some other language like Java, .NET, they have their own testing frameworks. Okay, like Mockito for Java, like that. We have Jasmine for JavaScript based applications. Okay, and Jasmine is a behavior driven development framework. Okay, and understands easy by any non-technical person. So what exactly the behavior driven development? You know, while writing Jasmine, you never feel like you're writing a program. Okay, it's just like normal conversation. Okay, very just like conversational functions will be there. Okay, you expect the result, so you have a expect function. You expect the result to be something else, so to be is a function. Okay, so like instead of focusing more on functionality, it focusing on the behavior, how the code is going to behave. Okay, so it's very easy to learn and it's very easy to understand the complete program. Okay, so it focuses more on testing behavior of the code instead of implementation, and it is having very easy reading, easy to read syntax and easy to understand code. Okay, I'll just talk about Jasmine functions name next. Now Karma. So Karma is an open source test runner for JavaScript to run the test cases and to generate the test coverage report and to do the testing configuration with Angular application. So Karma is required. Okay, and this is created by the Angular team. So Karma can be integrated to any application. I mean the most Angular application only, and you can test using the CLI. Karma also having some CLI like ng test command. You can also configure this with Jasmine, Mocha, and QUnit. So Jasmine we use with Angular, Mocha mostly we use with Node.js unit testing, and QUnit we use for jQuery. So it is made by the jQuery people for unit testing on jQuery code. Okay, so the Karma can be configured with all the three. Okay, next, what are the configuration files in Angular? So a lot of configuration was already there, but we have not looked into that configuration till now. We now only focus on what is the testing configuration which already existing in your Angular application. We'll see. So there are few files already configured with your testing. One is package.json. So in package.json, if you can see, yeah, first package.json. If you go to the package.json of any the basic Angular project here, you can find some test. testing things. Yeah, you can find them here. See, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine WD2, Jasmine Core, Jasmine Spec Reporter, Karma, Chrome Launcher, Coverage Istanbul Reporter. This is for test coverage. Jasmine HTML Reporter, Protractor. Yeah, these are all. These two actually for TypeScript. These are all the things for even up to here. CodeLizer is different. Yeah, anything Jasmine, Jasmine, Karma, Karma. These are all so testing related dependencies module, third-party modules. Okay, and in Angular.json, they given some configuration about the testing configuration in Angular.json. So when you go to Angular.json also, we don't need to remember the things, but I'm just showing where it all is being configured. Okay, this is for the regular application configuration. We configured the bootstrap and all, na? Yeah, that one. And if you come down, yeah, see, Karma has configured here. So main file, see, test. So for testing configuration, they given Karma configuration. I told right, Karma is the test runner. So to run all the test cases internally, that configuration can be done with Karma. Okay, so main file is test.js. We'll see what is test.ts file, and tsconfig.json for TypeScript configuration, and Karma specific configuration is karmaconf.js. Okay, so let me see these things. Test.ts file, test.ts. The main file for the testing is test.ts file. So when I go to the here, nothing created now. Everything is just regular Angular application. Okay, we are not create anything of test.css or anything. Just we just create an Angular application. All this comes automatically, but we are just looking to only test related files. Okay, so if you just create a regular application of Angular, you can see all this. Okay, so in SRC, there is something called test.ts file. We never look into till now. This test.ts file. They have done some configuration, some context path and all they configure, and some test bed they have configured, some platform dynamic testing. So because you're gonna test the each test cases on the browser. Okay, because it is purely front end application. So for front end to test with the components and HTML, the scenario, the function calls, the binding, everything can be configured inside automatically. Okay, you don't need to bother of doing things manually. Okay, it can be done automatically by the Angular CLI itself. Okay, next there is something called karmaconf.js. So karma configuration is here. If you can go to in this, see there is something called karma, this symbol, karmaconf.js. Yeah, they have configured a framework called Jasmine. So we are using the default testing framework for Angular is Jasmine. Okay, and there are few plugins they have added. Karma included with Jasmine and Chrome launcher to launch a Chrome browser, and HTML reporter to generate some HTML reports on the like HTML what you call them UI reports can be generated for testing coverage and all. Nice HTML pages will be generated for this, and coverage reports will come, and some plugins with Karma. And here they given some coverage path. So where the coverage code will come in the first tab. If you run the code coverage report, it will generate a coverage folder. In that you can find HTML files inside. Okay, I'll tell you when you generate a test coverage report. And the default port number is 9876. And yeah, Chrome browser, some configuration about Karma testing with Jasmine. Okay, so that's all about the configuration. That's all about the configuration. And moreover, so what type of files should be there here? For example, you
హలో
know,
హలో నవీన్ సార్
uh,
సార్ లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుంది సార్
a last class, B batch, E batch,
అవును సార్
E weekend last,
సాటర్డేనా సార్
Saturday na Sunday na Monday na Monday maximum last.
ఓకే సార్
ఈ సండే కూడా క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది, మండే లాస్ట్ మ్యాక్సిమం.
ఓకే సార్
ఈరోజు రేపు ఇంకా 2-3 days అంతే. ఓకే,
Okay, sir.
Ah, ah. Now, where is stop? Okay, that's all about configuration. Now, what type of file naming structure you have to follow? You have to follow some naming convention. Suppose, for example, you create one app.ts file with some functionality. Okay, functionality you written, and that functionality you want to test. So testing where you write is you create a separate file. This is actual source code. Okay, so besides that, I want to create a separate file to get these functions inside, and I'm going to call them and I'm going to test them. So where I'm going to write the testing functionality is there should be one file called app.spec.ts file. Okay, there should be another file has to create app the same name dot spec dot ts. So any file name ends with spec, that is a testing file. Okay, and moreover, whatever the thing you create in Angular, for example, you create a component, you create a service, you create interceptor, whatever you create, every time you get something called spec.ts file. This spec.ts itself is a testing file. For example, by default, when you create an application, app component will come, right? So app component means app component.ts file. This is the original app component file. But for this app component, whatever the logic you write, you're going to test it. So how you're going to test that is there will be one testing file for app component is see here app component.spec.ts file. If you open the spec.ts file, so which contains some configuration, like before each some test bed configuration imports, yeah, this is one test case, here is one test case, here is one test case. See, expect to be truthy, like expect to be 2 equal to, right, like this, here not it, expect dot to contain, like many. Okay, don't worry, I'll talk about the complete setup of each test file. Okay, so fine. So first, let's focus on the basic functionalities, and then we'll move on to how to test the Angular components and services. Okay. So first of all, I create a folder. Uh, I create a folder called unit hyphen testing. Unit testing. In this, I create another folder for basics. Okay, let's say I'll change the name, not just basics. We are learning the few things. So core, uh, let's say core testing, unit testing, and the very core level of testing, or you can just say better, you can change core means you can fill something else. So just say Jasmine unit testing. Some Jasmine will see some functionalities. Okay, so how I write this is I can create one file, one TypeScript file. Let's say something called some very basic function called some function. I write a function file name math dot operations dot ts file. So math operations, mathematic operations, one file. In that I create a function. So export constant the ts file. So I create a sum function. The sum function takes two parameters, a of type number, comma b of type number, and this returns also a number. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is constant sum is equal to a function. Okay, so what it gonna do is return simply a plus b. That's it, very basic function. It is some function takes two parameters a and b, returns a plus b number type. Okay, so this is the function I want to test it. How you test and where you write, you can't write test cases here. Okay, you have to create a separate file with an extension extra, same name extra dot spec. See, it is ts. So if you create spec, you get this symbol. It's not like every time you get the symbol. If you install the extra plugin for WebStorm, you get the symbol. But based on a symbol, also you identify what is the test file. Okay. So I create test file for this functionality. New TypeScript. Let's say math dot operations dot spec dot ts. Okay. So one spec file. I want to test this functionality here. So how you test this? First, you write something called describe. So describe is a function to describe what is that functionality you're going to test it. I'm going to test math operations. So math operations. There's some string you have to write. Math operations, comma. It will take another function as a parameter, second parameter. Okay. So in math operations, what is the function you're going to test it? This may contain multiple functions, right? I'm going to testing now some function. So you describe that as well. Describe some function in math operations file. I am testing a sum function. Okay, in that now I'm going to write a test case. Okay, what is my test cases? Generally, how you test the sum function is you're going to provide 10 and 20. You expect the value to be 30. Okay, that's what you do. So some input you provide, some output you receive, and will match. Is it really expecting the same value or not? Same story you do here. Okay, so my first test case goes to be, and how you rate test cases? This complete source code belongs to Jasmine. Jasmine already been configured, nothing to install separately. Okay, just right away you can write a test case code. Okay, because test configuration already made in Angular automatic. Okay, so now here, what my testing test case is, you write multiple test cases. So is it returns the sum or not? Is it returns the number or not? That way. So I just check it should return me the sum of a comma b. So how will test case is it. Okay, just say it and press tab. Okay, so this will generate automatically. Just say it tab. Okay, so it, what is that you are expecting to be some string and one function. Okay, you can take a function like this empty, I mean this normal function, or you can also take an arrow function like this. Okay, both are possible. But if you write just it tab, you get normal function only. That's fine, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what is my functionality is should return the sum. Should return the sum. Okay, so what is the logic you write? This is my test case. Okay, and how you test it is this is the function I'm going to test it. So sum has been exported. I can import here. So how you test this? Uh, expect function name is expect from Jasmine. Expect what? Sum function. Sum function. See, sum has been imported from math operation. Sum function I'm providing 10 comma 20. Okay, expect some function you provide 10 comma 20. So dot to be, see we have a lot of functions to be true, to close to, define, false, to be greater than, to be less than, instance of, nan, these many are there. Okay, okay, so to be what? So 10 comma 20 to be 30. That's my test case. Okay, return the sum. So I'm providing 10 and 20 to the sum. I'm expecting this value to be 30. So your function I'm calling from here. Okay, fine. You write a one basic test case, and I want to test this. Okay, how you test this? Generally, how you start the server? npm start, or initially how you used to start ng server. Correct? Yeah. Same like this. How you test the whole application with unit testing is ng test. Ng test. Wherever you write the functionality, whatever the file you write a test case, just say ng test. Okay, it opens the browser automatically, and where you can see the test results in the browser. Okay, and that runs on a different port number. Generally Angular runs on 4200. This runs on around some 9876, no, 9876. Okay, so let me go here for first tab. I'll say ng test. So this opens your Chrome browser automatically, because in the karma configuration Chrome has configured now. So it will look for the installed Chrome browser, and that Chrome browser get opens automatically. So let's see how it is. See, it is open the Chrome. So Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. That is our karma. C9876 port number, which been configured in the karma.conf.js file. See, karma has connected, and see, you can see that now. App component is grayed out because I just commented the app component specific test cases. Okay, now three specs. Two are pending. Don't worry. This I made a comment for this guys. So pending, just ignore. I'll just enable once we start with the Angular configuration. Okay, Angular test cases, component testing. As of now, I'm not testing the whole component. I'm just testing a few basic functionality. Okay, Jasmine. So math operation sum. C should return the sum. Okay, zero failure. So three specs, zero failure. So one spec is ours, two specs is existing. Two specs is existing that we are not testing as of now, only this one. So zero failure. So it been succeeded. Okay. So I say like this, I say 40, 10 and 20 I'm providing to be 40. So it must be failure because this will return me, this function returns me a plus b 20 plus 10, 30 only. So I'm expecting 40. So check, this will refresh, browser gets refresh automatically and check one failure. What is that is expect 30 to be 40. I'm getting 30, but you're expecting that value to be 40. So 30 and 40 not match. So your test has been failed. So make it back to 30, save it, go check. Browser will automatically refresh every time you write a test case. Okay, come on. Yeah, see, now it's pass. Okay, now I'll test one more thing. Uh, if I pass 10 and 20, I get 30. That's fine. Uh, I want something like this. It should return. It should return the value more than. I'm just showing a test cases. Okay, like this different functions. Okay, more than 40 for 20 and 30. What is the test case? If I provide 20 and 30, exact value 50. So I am writing a test case. It should be 50 should be more than 40. Na? So more than 40, something more than some value how you test is like this. Expect some function. Here you provide 20 comma 30. So you can write dot to be 50, but I want to check greater than value. Okay, you can just have a function called greater than. I know it's a very basic test case, but still, I just wanted to make you understand how you test to be function already discussed. So to be greater than, you want to test some value greater than some expected value. You can test with a function called to be greater than. So expect this to be greater than this one. See, this is just like you're reading English, right? Expect this value to be greater than this one. You are writing a program, but functions are just like a regular like English conversation things. Okay, that's easy. Jasmine framework. Okay, so let's check. So 20 plus 30 is 50. It must be greater than 40. Yes. So go back here. It's been not refresh. Huh? Yeah, see, four specs. Yeah, that also successful. Okay, now I'll check this function 10 and 20 you're passing some value is coming, but I'm expecting that value to be a number. So is it written the number or not? I'm providing number and number. My expected value also number only. So how you expect the type of the value is it should return a number, should return a number. Okay, this can be anything. This can be you write whatever the name you want, and what is the name you write, that name get display here. See, for example, see, we start to describe math operations. See, math operations here. So some function described, that is sum here. Okay, and should return the sum, this one, should, this one. Okay, this has not written any test case, that's why it says expectation, and this is done. This is the one now we have to do. So it says spec is written but no expectation. Yeah, of course, I have not written the expectation. I'll write. So expect, there is no function to check the instance of number or not. You can actually check like this. Type of, type of, type of is a very, I mean the basic JavaScript thing, right? To check the type of any variable. So sum of 10 comma 10 comma 20. So type of sum dot to be to be number. You can write like this. So to test the data type, you can write like this: type of this to be number. So it must return say number or not. You can check that out. Okay, so that also test case succeeded. This is how you rate a test cases. Okay, fine. Let me do some more examples. Yeah, this is all about math operation. You can write multiple functions and you're going to write a describe. See, first function, some function describe is like this. You write some other function and that you describe next. After this, describe some other function and you write test cases of that function only. Okay, you can categorize in that way. Okay, now close this. Let me create some other functionality. Let me do some string operations. Okay, like normal strings operations. So TypeScript, let's say string dot operation, let's say str dot operations dot ts file, and spec will be test cases. So str dot operations dot spec dot ts file. Okay, you get this symbol. Okay, so what I'm gonna write is I say export constant some functions. As of now, functions, and later I'll tell you how to create a classes and test it, and then how to test the component events binding. How to test I tell you. So we are just starting from the very ground level. Okay, first you understand how test cases works, then you have to integrate with Angular application. Okay, so constant I say wish me. Okay, some function. This function takes the name, okay, and this returns a string. It takes the name of type string, returns a string. I think I forgot to write something. It's a function, dude. Okay, yeah. So what is that I write is wish me. So return, mm, let's say like this: Happy New Year 2021 space the name of the person. Today 31st December, na? Yeah. So what is the name I provide? So Happy New Year. It will provide the name of the person what you provided. Okay, one function. So how you gonna test this function? We'll see. Okay. So here describe. First you have to describe the function name, the functionality, string operations, comma one function. In that you describe for wish me function, wish me function. Okay. So here what I do is I'm gonna test this. Yeah, so wish me function, I'm going to test. I say it should return should return wish message. Okay, I'll take the name. Let name is equal to name of type string is equal to I can take my name. Okay, so now I say expect wish me of name name dot to be expecting this value to be what? I'm gonna expect this to be happy new year. It should return happy new year 2021 space name should come over there. What is the name you provide? That name only should return here. Okay, that's my expectation. Save it. Check it out. So it's been run. After a few seconds, you can see wish me should return the wish message. It's been successful. And if you write some wrong string, for example, it is Happy New Year. Na H caps is there. For example, you made lowercase. What happened? So this functionality written in different way. You're expecting something else. So now test case fails. Test failed because Happy New Year, lowercase Happy New Year not match. So it should be capital. So that way you test it. And if you want to check the return type must be string, how you check? It should return wish message of string type. String type. How I check the string type is you can just say let name of type string is equal to my name. Okay, and expect type of wish me of name dot to be string. Okay, I'm expecting the type of this certain type should be string. So check it out. It's going to run the test case now. Yeah, so 7 spec 0 failure. So it returns wish me of type string. Okay, but one small optimization you do. See here, this is one test case. This is one test case. Okay, so this test case you return something called name, and here also name. So why to initialize? I have initialized some variable with some value. Here also I initialize with a value. So instead of initializing for every test case, you can write that for all test cases in one single shortcut code you write. What is that is there are few things available if you want to configure. Generally for unit testing, what happens now? You will write some test cases. So for every test case, you follow something called AAA pattern. What is this AAA pattern is? Uh, let's say arrange, act, assert. This is the pattern we follow for test cases. Okay, not just for Jasmine, any unit test cases, you'll follow this. Arrange, act, and assert. Arrange means you're gonna arrange uh, the resources to test something, right? You're gonna test something. You're gonna arrange the resources first. So on top of that, you're gonna execute the functionality that is called act. And then after executing the functionality, you will verify is it the expected value or not. So that is called assert. You have to follow this. Okay, for this there are few predefined functions available for us. There are something like before each, one function, before each, after each. Okay, so before each, by naming only you understand. Before each means before each test case, you want to write some logic that you can keep here. After each test case executed, you want to write some logic you can write here. Along with that, you also have before all test cases and after all test cases. So you want to write some logic before executing of all test cases and after executing of all test cases. Okay, mostly we use this and we use this also. Okay, so for example, see here, before executing every of my test case, I'm arranging something, name, and here also name. So when I execute a test case every time, this is common. So common thing you can keep outside. Where I keep is before each, before each, before each is existing predefined function. Okay. I may write like this here. Let name of type string just empty declared, and before each test case, I'm going to write something called name is equal to Naveen. I return. If you write like this, and this statement is not required, and this statement also not required. So you declare a variable, and before each test case is going to run, set up something is name value Naveen, and that name you provide here, and that name you can test it. Okay. So now you check, you get, it's supposed to be refresh. Huh? It's been done. Oh, it is done already. You want, you can refresh and check. Okay, see, wish me successful. Okay, anything you want to uh, arrange something before each test cases, you will write before each. And there's something like I after each also. After each test cases, I want to clear out the name. You may write name is equal to null. You may write, you just clear the resources, just like try catch. Okay, you can clear the resources. Okay, yeah, fine. So this is all about testing operations. And let me test something called objects. Okay, how to test the objects things. So let me create a fresh file. Let's say obj dot operations dot ts file, object operations. So till now we have taken normal string and number. Let me take an object of my own type, simple function only, but object type. Let me just take export interface I mobile. I'll take, okay, mobile object. So this will take a value brand string price number and brand price color string. Okay, three properties are there for my object. Okay, so here I'll just create a function export constant get mobile, get mobile. Okay, you will write like this, get mobile is equal to uh, one function. So this is gonna return me, this is gonna return me iMobile. So return an object where brand Apple, comma color silver, comma price some 35,000, like this. So I am returning an object. Now I'm going to test this object. Okay, how you test? So we have to create a function spec the same name. So I create a spec new TypeScript obj dot operations dot spec dot ts file. Okay, fine. I'm going to test it. So how we write first? Describe. So describe what functionality? Obj operations object operations comma one function. Okay, in that what is the function you am testing is get mobile function. So describe get mobile function. I'm testing get mobile function. I'm testing. Okay, so here what we are going to write is test. What test you do? Mm, I'm going to check. Am I going to get the same object or not? Okay, I'll just expecting an object to contain brand Apple, color silver, price 35,000. I'm going to get the same this object or not. So I'll do like this is it should return the expected object turn. Okay, so I say let obj of type mobile, sorry, iMobile is equal to, I'm just taking the same object. I'm expecting the same or not. Okay, yeah, same object I have taken initialized. What I do is expect get mobile, get mobile, uh, dot to be. Generally, you have, I'll write here obj. See, you have actually two functions are there, to be and to equal. Okay, so you have to understand that first. So to be and to equal. When we have to use which function, I tell you. So to be can be used for normal primitive data types. For example, uh, string number. You can use the for string and number. You can use this. Okay. For example, if you are testing the objects type. Okay, object or array. Okay, for them you can use to equal. So this to be is just like double equal to operator. Okay, this is like triple equal to operator. Okay, so here if I say to be, okay, just like a string I say to be, you get the test case, but some problem comes. See, tip to check for deep equality, use to equal instead of to be. Nice hint, no? So they are telling don't use to be for objects to equal. So it will run the test case again. Okay, so test case succeeded, should return the expected object. Yes, exactly. Okay, fine. Now uh, I'm going to test in this one more test case I'll do. What is that is I'm check. Okay, object is coming. In that object, the brand property is there or not. Okay, my test case to be I'm going to check in the particular object the particular property is exist or not. How to check? Okay, so let's see. It should return an object with the property brand. So is that object contain the brand property or not? How you check? Um, uh, I will check the brand property. You can just say keys. Yeah, I tell you because I'm focusing on this different functions. Okay. Yeah. So I'll say expect get mobile, not get mobile. I want to get props. I can write like this. Yeah. Global object, normal global objects dot keys of get mobile. So right, object dot keys means you get all the properties of an object. Dot to contain. There is a function called to contain. We have discussed to equal. Now one more to contain. So to contain brand. That's it. Okay, this is how you test in the object the particular property is existed or not. So you get all the properties here. Object.key. So object.key is nothing related to Jasmine. This is just a regular JavaScript thing. We will right now has user something in the last project. So object.keys of dot length 0 like that. So you get all the properties in that to contain brand or not. Okay, save it. Check it out. See, where is mine? Yeah, so object is the property brand or not. You can check any other property. For example, instead of brand, I'll say capital brand. What happened? You get the error because brand is lowercase. You're expecting capital. So it should fail the test case. Okay, come on, it's failed. So you got brand color price, but you're expecting capital brand, which was not exist. Yes, correct. Okay, this how you test. And what else you do? Yeah, type of object you can check. Anyway, returns object on testing object and all doesn't looks good. Okay, and you can check one more thing. The brand properties value is apple or not. How to check? Okay, particular properties value is apple or not. How to check? It till now we check property exists or not. Now the properties value I'll check. Should return, not there. Should return brand property value to be Apple. Okay, so how you check the value? Um, get mobile, or you can write directly expect get to mobile function get mobile dot brand dot to equal or to be normal string only na to be Apple. Simple, straightforward. Okay, properties value to be Apple. You can check now. Okay, so I got test case succeeded. Okay, Apple has come. Super. This is how you test the objects. To equal to contain to be functions and fine. Now let's take another example of Jasmine testing. One more is array operations. So here I'll take some array operations, new TypeScripts. Let's say array dot operations dot ts file. Here I'll just take a basic array, string array. So export constant get colors of type what string array is equal to one function that returns me an array which contains a string of colors. Oh, sorry, you don't write the type here, you write the type here. Function return type now, not the name type. One second, I'm getting call. Okay, fine. So get colors, it returns a few colors like white, comma, black, silver, comma, purple. Okay, so four colors it returns. Okay, simple function. So now for this I want to write test cases. So right click new TypeScript. Just say array dot operations dot spec dot ts file. Okay, so first you describe what is that. Let's say array operations, some name. In that describing for some other function. What function? Get colors function. And I'm testing it out. Okay, okay. So here I'm going to test for the colors. Uh, First of all, what I check is, mm, okay, you get the array right. So in that, I just check the array length. We know array is returning four elements, right? So I just check the length. The length is 4 or not. How you check? So it should return an array of length 4. Sorry, 4. So how I check is like this: expect um, get colors dot length simply dot to be 4. Simple, right? Okay, let's see one more test case of get colors. Yeah, get colors returns length of 4. Okay. Now I'll just check in that white color is exists or not. White color is exists or not, or else purple color is exists or not in the array. So how you check if some element is exists in the array or not? How to check? So it should return okay, should contain the color, should contain the color called purple. Okay, how I check? Expect get colors function dot contain contain purple. So purple is existing in the array or not. So check it out. Yeah, it contain the purple. Okay, and you can also check the black color is there. Na? Black color index will be what? 0, 1. So I want to check the black color index to be 1. Okay, how I check? Index of black to be 1. How I check is it should return the index of black. Okay, so how you write is index. So expect um, index. Oh, not like this. Get colors. You mix JavaScript functions with Jasmine functions. Okay, get colors. You get all the colors in the dot index of index of black index of black dot to be index of black to be 1. Simple. Okay, so get colors and the array dot index of black to be 1 0 1. Okay, so check it out. Yes, I got written the index of black to be 1. Black to be 1. You can test like this. Okay, and now I can check uh, okay, that's fine. Very basic functionalities. Yeah. So now you clearly understand what you understand how to write unit test cases using Jasmine. Okay, but of course we write some few test cases, few functionality, but uh, these are all just very independent functionality, just like normal TypeScript functions and JavaScript functions. Okay, but how you write test cases for Angular? Okay, because Angular contains the components, services, and all, right? So how you test functionality of Angular's specific stuff? We'll see that story now. Okay, close this. So here I create a folder called components. I create a folder called components. In this I create a component. Okay, so what is the component I create? Is some product item. For example, when events binding of Angular, when we discuss, there is an example called product item. Like cart item, we increase the quantity, decrease the quantity. That functionality I want to test using unit testing. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you know one thing, you can make it for any other functionality. Okay, so in components, I create a fresh component. So right click, open terminal. Okay, so here nggc product hyphen item. Let me create a product item component. Yeah, prototype item component has been created. Now check in the components folder product item, which contains a lot of things: CSS, HTML, TS, and spec. See, spec has come automatic. Okay, and first let me start the server. I think server has not been started till now. No, it's showing some error. Oh, did it start it? One second. Npm start. Oh, test cases was error. Okay, I stopped the test case. NG test. NG test is different. Okay, it's having its own browser. Server startup is different. This is server startup. NPM start. This is NG test. We'll see both together now. Okay, or else we'll do one thing. I think it'll take some time to start. Yeah. So maybe 1 hour, right? So let's take a break for 5 minutes, and then we'll discuss purely Angular specific things. Okay. So let's meet after 5 minutes. Relax. Okay, fine. Now, so I have started the application, no issue, and I started the test case also, no issue. 12 test case successful, fine. Now, what I do is I can do this, not required. Uh, yeah. So I create a one component, product item, empty component. Let me configure this with app. So go to app component below the navbar. I made this navbar in testing Angular. Okay, that is the EOLA, this one. Below this, I configure app product item. Okay, so you check the basic setup has come. Okay, so what I do is in this, I take some title. Uh, wait, before I take title, let's see what is the test case file created. Okay, what is the test case file created? See, when you create a component using Angular CLI, you got component. This is the component structure has come. Okay, empty. Along with that empty test case structure also will come. That is spec.ts file. See now, the huge source code has come for us automatically. You don't need to write any single line on top of it. It is completely given by Angular itself. Only thing is you have to understand what it is. That's it. Okay. So here describe product item component. I'm testing the product item component. In that, uh, yeah, first let's see the import statements. The import statement, there are two things has imported: component fixture, test bed from Angular code testing library. So in Angular code testing library, there are two things available: fixture and test bed. Okay, so what is that test bed? See, everywhere test bed is there. Na? Test bed is nothing but test bed. You know test, right? You know bed, right? What is test bed? Test bed means it's make the environment ready for testing. It just create a isolated environment. Okay, so test bed. I talk about here. So let component and fixture, two variables has been declared. Component of type product item component. Component of type our product item component. Fixture is uh, to get some internal things of component. So this is the whole component. Okay, in the component, if you want to access uh, the functionality, if you want to access the HTML elements. Okay, so for all this we have fixture. See, in that before each, we understand, right? Before each means before every test case, this function is going to execute. So before each, two times the return, that's fine. Yeah, here before each test case, they do some environment configuration. So testbed.configure testing module, they have configured a testing environment declarations here. Generally, this type of declaration can be given in the app component. See, in the sorry, app module declaration, app component, product item component declared something. Okay, so this is the main source code file to execute the application on the browser. But specifically only this component I want to test isolately, we need to set up something for that. That is what this configuration. Okay, testbed.configure testing module specifically for this component, compile components. This will make a setup, and then fixture is equal to testbed.create component. So it is created the component and given you the in the form of fixture, and the component is equal to fixture dot component instance. Instance means the object, the exact object of the component you're going to return component, and then fixture dot detect changes. What is this detect changes is, uh, when you write something in a component, automatically browser will refresh at the application side. This is application which is running, right? If I do some changes in the app component, automatically browser will refresh. You can see that is general application side. Same way in testing also, if I do some test cases for the each component, I want to refresh this one. This is testing browser, right? This is Angular application. This is backend. testing same application source code only, but testing environment this one. So I want to reload testing environment also. That's called this one, detect changes, fixture dot detect changes. Okay, so this all the things, don't worry, is given automatically by the Angular. Okay, now is they made one test case also. What is that? It should create expect component dot to be truthy. Truthy means a true value. Okay, so it is expecting the component to be created. Okay, so when you write nggc component name, na, it's been created. Okay, so they are checking it's been created or not. That is component dot to be truthy, truthy, falsy, like different. We have seen a two equal to contain, to expect, like those things. Yeah. So it's been already done one test case. So you can check in this. There'll be somewhere prototype item. Yeah, should create prototype component should create. This is the function. I mean, this is a test case has been executed successfully. Okay, fine. This is the existing configuration. Nothing we written. Now we go right now. Okay, before I write, let me focus on the actual thing and then I'll write a test case for that. So here I want to design the prototype item component. So I move on to the HTML. I don't need this. Um, I'll write one variable here in the TS file. See very careful where I'm writing component, not in the spec. Spec I tell you in a minute. First focus on component and the actual application browser. Okay, let's say public title is equal to title of type string is equal to welcome to product item. Welcome to product item is my variable. Okay, fine. And this title I want to display on the screen. What I do on HTML, I just write some basic bootstrap setup section with the class call p3, one container, one row, single column. I write p.h3 with the text danger. Okay, here I display title, and then p to some dummy text lorem 30 tab. Okay, this is my setup. So I got this welcome to product item has come here. Okay, so now what is my plan is I want to test this out. Is this, yeah, see, in the component.ts file, I declared variable with title welcome to product item, and that's been displayed in HTML and it's been rendered here. So this whole functionality I want to test through my test cases. So how you write? I'll tell you. See, first of all, it should contain the title, should contain the title. Okay, so how I check the component contain the title or not? So component ts file contains some title, na? So this is the title. I want to check the title is equal to this or not. How I check? Here, expect component dot component means picture dot component instance. The product item component instance is the object, component object dot title. We declare title variable, na? The title variable. I'm access that in the test case. Component dot title to be title to be this one. Okay, I'm just checking in the component title is welcome to product item or not. Okay, so you can check now. Where is that? Yeah, product item should contain the title. Yeah, title is correct. Okay, now you can just check title to be string or not. That's very basic. Type of will be string you can do. Okay, moreover, one more thing is, yeah, you got the title, right? Now I want to check something new. This title has been rendered on HTML page or not. So this title, component title has been rendered on HTML page or not. I want to test this out. How you test, I'll tell you. So it should render the title on HTML. Okay, how I check and where it is rendered in app component.ht in the HTML for paragraph tag, it is there. Let me write some ID, uh, let's say title, but you may confuse now this title, that title. Let's say component title. Let's say comp title. Okay, or let's say prod item. Na? Let's say prod title. Okay. Now in the spec, I just check it is rendered on HTML. Means the component to title has been displayed in between in between this tag, this paragraph tag or not. First of all, I have to get this tag. Okay, with an ID. Tell me in normal JavaScript how you receive this tag with an ID. So document dot get element by ID prod title, right? Or else one more function is there. Document dot query selector prod title. Same way, how you receive this HTML element in my test case is, see here, uh, there is something called debug element. We use something called debug element for to fetch the HTML specific elements in your test case file. Debug element of type debug element. Debug element is from Angular core library. Yeah, this debug element you're gonna assign something. So where I assign is here. Let's say debug element is equal to fixture, my component fixture dot debug element. So I just declared a variable here. I'm assigned the value here. For every test case, it assigns the value fixture dot debug element. So using this debug element, you can access the HTML. Uh, close this. You can access the HTML specific elements, the tags here. Now I want to get the paragraph tag. Okay, ye wala, this paragraph tag with an ID prod title. How I can access is, see here. So let's title element, title elements el shortcut is equal to debug element dot, there is something called native element dot query query. Yeah, I'm gonna query that. What is the ID prod title? So how can you access the ID here? Dot query by from platform browser. This is by is from platform browser dot css. In this you provide the ID. So hash prod title. This how you receive the element. Generally, regular JavaScript you receive document dot query selector of ID. But in Angular we receive like this debug element dot native element dot query by CSS ID. If it is a class dot, if it is a tag, normal tag name. Okay, fine. I got the title element. Okay, so now I have to check the component title has been rendered in the inner text of this title element or not. How I check is expect component dot title dot to be component dot title to be title element dot text content. No, title element dot native element dot text content. Yes. So what I'm checking is in the component what is the title you declared, and that title has been rendered in the place of this paragraph tag or not. I written the logic here. Component title to be title element dot native element dot text content. The text content means regular JavaScript, JavaScript also na text content, the text between the tag. You should not down, right? Yeah, this one. So I write that story here. Now save it. Please check. I think it's some problem is saying debug element dot native element dot query is not a function. How come? Correct? Huh? I'll find out that something is missing. Yeah. Debug element dot native element dot query is not a function. I think it's not native element, it's directly query. Okay, I made a mistake. Debug element dot query directly. Native element is for text content. Okay, now I think it's fine. Yeah, it's correct now. Okay, so where is that? Yeah, should render the title on HTML. Is it rendered title? Yes, exactly. That's working. Okay. Mm, now fine. Next, I want to create a product now. I want to create a product to display on the screen. So public product. Uh, you can take interface also, no? I just take an interface for model. Yeah, in the components product item, I create a model. I'm not creating a separate models folder. Just normal TypeScript files. Just say I product interface. So export interface I product. Here I say serial number of type string, name of type string, image of type string, name, image, price, number, quantity of type number, name, image, price, quantity, and that's it. Nothing much. Okay, this is my object. I create the object here. So public product of type I product is equal to an object. In this, serial number will be string, right? So something 0 1 a 0 2 something, comma, name. Name some smart watch. Image. What is the image you are? Let me grab some smartwatch from Google. Smart watch. Come on, and it is not there. Images. Okay, some watch. So right click, copy image address. I paste the image address here, comma. What else you have? Quantity. I'll take the quantity just two items, comma, price, some 1850 rupees. Okay, fine. So this product item I want to display first on HTML. I'll see here and then I'll write a test case for that. I'll see here and then test case. Mm, so here section, one container, one row, single column, reset table with the class called table, and text center, table hover, and table striped, and table light. Okay, head, table row, th star, 6 tab, serial number, name, first image, name, price, quantity, total. Okay, so am I got that? But nothing in the background color. I say give the class call bg dark, text white, text uppercase for all are uppercase. You can display all uppercase values. Okay, so below this display the product. So t body in the table row, td for serial number, uh, expression product dot sno, multiple things, serial number, image, image, name, price, price, quantity, and the say price into product dot quantity. Okay, these two not required. Okay, see now. But image, oh, I have display image now. Let me cut this. I'll display image tag src, the property binding product dot image. Let's say alt nothing. Let's say width and height. Width 50, height also 50. So you get the image, and for quantity I want plus and minus symbols. So for quantity I tag the class fe hyphen uh, plus no, I think it's minus first, minus circle, paste it, and I tag with the class fe minus plus circle. This is mx1, and this is also mx1. Yeah, that's the design. You can also display this in nice span tag, this one. So let me write some id. I tell you why I'm writing the id. Prod qty, I want to verify the quantity. Okay, that way. Okay, so we got the complete setup. Yeah. Now I want to check something. What is that is? I have the product object in the component, right? You can check serial number is this or not, name is this or not. You can check. Okay, it is an object or not. You can check all the things, very basic. But I want to check this particular image URL has been rendered exactly in this image tag src attribute or not. I want to check that one. This image URL has been rendered in the image or not. It means indirectly I'm testing in the my test case the image has been displayed on the screen or not. That I want to check. So how you do is image tag you give an ID. Let's say prod hyphen img. So this you're gonna check. So how I check in the test cases? See here. So it should render should render the image should render the image on the screen or not. So first let me get the image element. So let's image element is equal to debug element dot query by dot css. What was that is what is ID you given? Prod image copy. So in this prod image it will be ID, so hash. Okay, image element I got. So in the image element src attribute is product image or not. Okay, how I do is expect component dot product dot image dot to be what image elements dot native element dot src. So image elements src value is my product image or not, is nothing but is it rendered the image on the screen or not. Save it, check it out. Reconnecting, what is the issue? Come on, stop or what? One second, I think it's been still doing it. uh it got stuck, it seems. Come on, dude. Array, it's got stuck actually. It's not even not responding. It's stop it. Can I close the browser? Huh. Control C. Control C also not working. I can close it. Terminate. Okay. So let's say ng test. So this is how you will test the internal things of a component. You can connect the things of HTML and component specific things. and you'll be testing it. Is it rendered or not? And also we'll see the button clicks. If you click on the button, is it updating the quantity or not? And the quantity, the price, your total, everything is matching or not? Everything you're gonna test everything here. Okay, but still, yeah, it's open. It's still building. Okay, succeeded. And see prototype item component, it's been display the image on the screen. Yes, image has been displayed on the screen. Okay, that way. And fine. Now let me click on the plus symbol to increase the quantity, minus symbol to decrease the quantity, and that clicks is working or not. It is increasing the quantity or not, decreasing the quantity or not. Using test cases, how to see, we will discuss in the next class. Okay. So tomorrow last for testing, and also tomorrow I tell you how to test the services. Okay, Angular services also how to test. Okay, we'll see. And then straight away we'll start with I guess if time is there, we'll start prime angular tomorrow. Okay, testing will finish by tomorrow. Okay, so that's all about today's class, and it is working. And we'll meet AG grid. What is AG grid? NG grid. AG grid. I didn't get what you say. NG. NG grid. Not sure what is NG grid. 1 minute. Let me check. You can check online. NG AG grid Angular. Start from web server. Oh, it is some third party module. It's not for Angular or something. It is some separate story. AG grid, Angular grid. This is not Angular thing and it is out of our syllabus. I didn't see this. AG grid. Okay, okay. This is also for it's having some components as well, is it? Okay, okay. Then what it does, you can add AG grid. Okay, I look into this. I never use this. Okay, maybe some extra setup. It's like maybe kind of Angular material, prime Angular, like that. AG grid also one such type of library. So I'll look into this. I never use it anywhere, anytime. I'll see. Okay, okay, for paginations and all. Okay, okay, fine. We can use paginations and all there also. In Angular material also you can do. Prime Angular also we can do. That depends what company expects. But all are normal only, na? This normal Angular component which contains some data. But extra library to make your things easy for sorting and all. Okay, fine. I'll look into this. Anyway, this is out of our syllabus. Yeah. So that's it. Enough for today's class, and let's meet tomorrow, and we'll understand the uh, testing. Okay. Right. Thank you.